let's get into our predictions here. So, as always, we have our trusty notebook here, and we will open to a fresh page. There we go. All games this week are either on Saturday or Sunday. The first game on Saturday is Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. Last weekend, Brentford drew Wolves 1-1 at home, and Forest lost to Arsenal 5-0 on the road. Brentford are currently 11th with 15 points, and Forest remain in last place or 20th with 9 points. They've had some pretty polarizing results. Forest beating Liverpool, losing to Arsenal 5-0 2 weeks in a row. So you never really know what they're going to come out with, I guess. I think Brentford are the better team, although Forest are at home. I'm still going to take Brentford to win 2-1. Next up, Wolves versus Brighton. Again, Wolves drew 1-1 with Brentford last week, and Brighton with, in my opinion, a very surprising 4-1 victory over Chelsea and their former manager, Graham Potter. I know I predicted Chelsea to win probably pretty handedly last weekend, and I was very wrong, so props to Brighton for that one. Brighton are in 8th place currently with 18 points, and Wolves are sitting in 19th place with just 10 points. Kind of a surprising season from Wolves. I'm tempted to take them to draw here, but Brighton seem to be in good form under their new manager. He seems to be doing quite well in replacing Potter. I'm going to take Brighton 2-0. Next is Man City versus Fulham. Man City beat Leicester 1-0 last weekend, and Fulham drew Everton 0-0. Man City are 2nd place with 29 points, and Fulham are 7th with 19 points. Honestly, if this game was at Fulham, I might give them a chance to draw. But I have to go Man City here. They're just the best best team in the league, talent-wise. I feel like Fulham can score some goals. I'm gonna go 3-2 here. Next up is Leeds versus Bournemouth. Leeds with a surprising 2-1 victory over Liverpool last weekend at Anfield. I believe it was Van Dijk's defender for Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk's first loss at Anfield, maybe ever, in 70-something appearances, so that was pretty shocking. And then Bournemouth with a 2-3 defeat versus Tottenham last weekend. As a Tottenham supporter, that was a great game, good comeback. Bournemouth were up 2-0 and then lost 3-2 on a stoppage time goal. Tottenham also advancing to the knockout rounds of the group stage with a win over Marseille. I think I'm going to do a Champions League knockout round predictions video too once the draw happens, I believe on the 7th of November. But it'll be tough because the knockouts don't start until like February or March, so the January transfer window will have to happen, so a lot of the squads will probably change. So we'll see how I do something like that, maybe just a recap video of the group stages, we'll see. Let me know in the comments if you want something like that. Anyway, Leeds, Bournemouth. Leeds are in 15th with 12 points, and Bournemouth are in 14th with 13 points. I'm gonna go 2-2 here. I think both teams can score, and both teams don't play very good defense, so a lot of goals in this one. And this game will probably be the opposite of a lot of goals. Everton versus Leicester. Everton tying Fulham 0-0 last week, and Leicester losing to Man City 1-0. Everton are currently 12th with 14 points, and Leicester are 18th with 11 points. I'm going to go 1-1 here. See if Leicester can grab a point or so to try and climb out of that relegation zone. Kind of a weird relegation battle so far this year. Some teams down there that you wouldn't expect, some teams that have been in the Premier League for quite a few years now, running at this point. That might go down. Next is a big match, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Chelsea, of course, losing to Brighton 4-1 last weekend, and Arsenal beating Nottingham Forest 5-0. Chelsea are currently 6th with 21 points, and Arsenal are 1st with 31 points. Man, this is a tough one. Chelsea at home, big match versus Arsenal. I'm kind of tempted to take Arsenal, but I'm going to go Chelsea here, mainly because I'm a Tottenham supporter and I don't want to see Arsenal succeed. Now, I don't know, Chelsea at home, I think they'll be motivated for this one. Probably be a pretty crazy atmosphere there, playing top of the league Arsenal, two London clubs, you know. Always gonna play tougher in those derbies. Aston Villa versus Man United. Man United won 1-0 against West Ham last week. And Aston Villa lost 4-0 versus Newcastle. Man United are in 5th with 23 points. And Aston Villa are 16th with 12 points. Pretty good run for Man United recently. They've had a pretty tough schedule and they're still in 5th place. I think they win this one without much trouble. I'm going to go 2-0. Aston Villa have not been very good this year, so we'll take Man United. Then we have Southampton versus Newcastle. Newcastle, as I just said, won 4-0 last weekend, and Southampton lost 1-0 at Crystal Palace. Newcastle are currently in 4th with 24 points. They have not lost any of their last 5 games. And Southampton are 17th with 12 points. I'm going to take Newcastle here. Their guy, Miguel Almiron, I believe his name is in pretty crazy form right now for Newcastle, scoring crazy goals left and right for them. I'm going to take Newcastle. I'll go 3-1. Next we have West Ham versus Palace. West Ham losing 1-0 to Man United last time out, and Crystal Palace beating Southampton 1-0 last weekend. West Ham are in 13th with 14 points, and Palace are in 10th with 16 points. I'm going to take West Ham here, I think. I'm going to go 1-0 for West Ham. I just think playing at home really makes the difference here. This should be a pretty close match in my opinion. I could see, I don't think it'll be any more than a 1-goal game. I could easily see a draw here too, but what's the fun in picking a draw, right? And our last game is Tottenham versus Liverpool. Tottenham again beating Bournemouth 3-2 last weekend, and Liverpool losing to Leeds 2-1 last weekend. I'm going to pick Tottenham because I'm a Tottenham supporter. Tottenham is home, but I'm not confident about it. I'll go 2-1 here for Tottenham. Liverpool have been pretty bad form throughout the season. They've had some interesting results, to say the least. Some good results, some bad ones. Pretty big roller coaster for them. Tottenham, watching their games, they don't, like in the Bournemouth game, they did not show up for the first half, conceded twice, didn't look like they wanted to be there. Eric Dyer has been playing pretty sloppy passes out the back there. I don't know what they're doing sometimes, but then other times, like in the second half versus Bournemouth, they really turned things on. Or like the second half versus Marseille, that Champions League game. First half, didn't want to be there. Second half, looked like a whole new team. So, who knows what you're going to get with either of these two teams at this point. But, as a supporter of Tottenham, I'm going to back them to win. Also important note on that, Son Heung-min on Tottenham is having surgery for like a face fracture, I believe, after getting headed by Mbemba of Marseille in the Champions League game, so he will miss this match and may miss the World Cup, which would be a shame. He is my favorite player. I know he's very well liked, and he's also just a great player. So it'd be a shame to watch him miss out on the World Cup. Hope he gets better soon. Anyway, that is all of the matches for this match week. Let me know what you think of my predictions, what you think the biggest upsets will be. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.